How we doing, everybody, and welcome back to another episode in the series Project Diablo 2. This is going to be another build guide. As always, my name is Will, and I do Diablo 2 related content. Just want to start off by thanking the large number of subscribers we've gained this week. If you aren't one of those and you enjoy these videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. We are on the way to 1,000 subs. As far as the date this is getting posted, this build will go up the day before Season 2's launch. So Season 2 is resetting tomorrow. So if you weren't aware of that, hop on in, join the fun. It's resetting later in the day, I think like 3 p.m. Central Time. I don't know, I'll have to double check that. But March 12th is the reset date, so hop on in on the fun. And this is one of the builds that I'm going to be starting out with. This is going to be kind of a little bit of a different build than I normally do. We are going to do a kind of a three-part build here. Get into the right tab here so you guys can see I've got a couple different gear sets laid out. So I'm going to start out with the fully kitted super late game uber expensive build, and then I will show you the kind of mid-game build. So a couple days into ladder, you're starting to get a few of the nicer end items. We'll kind of go over all these different things and some different options. And then we're also going to go over like a day one / early, super early ladder build set as well. Show you guys what to aim for, what kind of gear you should be looking at, etc, etc. But first off, as always, I like to show a little bit of gameplay. We're gonna hop right into it, and with this build, it is absolutely disgusting. This is the Frost Nova Sorceress. Alright, everybody, welcome to Act 5. We're gonna pop this map. This is a tier 3 map, 42% experience, negative 54 drain life, 12% cold skill damage from monsters, magic absorb, and a little bit of cold absorb. And of course, we are a cold character, so this is not an ideal map once again. But we're going to pop it and we'll see how it goes. We're going to try to play it a little bit slower. But the overall pace of this character is just quick in general. The only thing you have to worry about in the tier 3 maps is the boss, Belial. He will mess you up if you're not careful with the sorceress. So just, like I said, roll it kind of slow here. We're going to go into buff ourselves here, and then we're going to get going. Swap back over. And let's see how it goes. And try to do a little bit slow here. We're still going to just absolutely wreck everything. Only cold immunes in this map, I believe, are the little flesh things on the ground. These guys here, the little flesh beasts. The only cold immunes, I believe, other than elites. But as you can see, we absolutely destroy them. You just want to stay kind of on the outside of the packs here. Don't teleport right in the middle, otherwise you'll get stun locked. See the council members go down really easily. These guys get absolutely destroyed. Keep an eye on your life and mana. As I said before, this is a very mana thirsty build. So any mana per kill that you can get on any of your items would be a great help here. But as you can see, we basically make quick work of all the guys in here. This is a very good mapping build, as long as you play it a little safe here. Back there. Keep in mind this has 9% cold absorb as well, so we're not going to be doing nearly as much damage as if they didn't have that. Whole lot of fire there we just ate. Cold immune, we're going to skip him. Got a G-face there, Spired Helm, I believe. Alright, let's well, so this is all clear now. We'll go up top here. Once again, stick to the outside of the packs here. The archers can hurt sometimes, so be careful with the archers, especially if you have amp damage on you. Another cold immune there. We're going to back up a little bit just to get some of this health back. Let our mercenary kill that guy. Gone through a lot of potions here. Rune staff. Grab some of these pots off the ground here. Careful for the blood golems there. This is one of the bosses here. So again, we got a little bit of cold immunes here kind of messing with us. Another cold immune. Got hit by that twice. Like I said, this guy can be very, very tricky. And don't get stun locked like that. Run to town really quick. I'm not playing this very well. Obviously, if you're more talented than I am, you will have no problem doing this, but we are going to grab some more potions here. I'm gonna grab my mercenary again, because once again, he's cold immune, so. That's alright, he's almost dead anyways. And there he goes. We got an amulet. We'll see what our consolation prize is here. Alright, we'll call that it. You guys get the idea. Like I said, play it slow. You can definitely map with this. It's going to be one of the few Sorc characters that can actually map. Alright guys, now that that map is completed, we're going to go into the skills section of the build here. Obviously this is going to be a pure Frost Nova. So we're going to start out with the basics here. Max out Frost Nova. that's it, max out Frost Nova. Ice Bolt gives 16% damage per level, and Shiver Armor gives you 16% cold damage per level. So we're going to max out both of those. So Ice Bolt is our next 20 points, followed by our Shiver Armor is our next 20 points. Followed by our Cold Mastery, we're going to max as well. 53% Cold Pierce and 58% additional cold damage. Rest are just going to be prerequisites. We're not interested in any of those. Lightning Tab, we are going to put 1 point into Telekinesis, 1 point into Teleport, 1 point into Static Field is optional if you like. It's so nerfed in PD2, I don't think it's quite necessary. And then I always throw 1 point into Warmth. So once again, this is a pure cold skill tree. Frost Nova, Ice Bolt, Shiver Armor, and Cold Mastery. In the stats section of the tree here, our stats are going to be a little bit wacky just because we are using a Spirit Shield at the moment. So if you're using a Spirit Shield, you're going to want 156 Strength, and then literally everything else is going to go into Vitality. This is with super basic gear here. If you're not using a Spirit and you're using like a Lidless, let me grab the Lidless here. This thing only requires 58 strength. You can really drop that strength way down. So if you manage to get a lidless super early on, drop that strength way down. There we go. And let's see here. So there, you literally only need like 60 strength. You can dump everything else into vitality. That's going to give you 1200 life off the bat. So that's going to be super strong. Some people also go max block. So if you have a like Medusas or something that has a really high block chance, you can definitely go with max block. I am currently not doing max block on this build at this time. So with that being said, let's go over the gear here. Basically do any cold character content in the entire game. You can do, you know, Lost City, you can do Stony Tombs, you know, all the normal cold sorceress spots. So let's jump into the gear and I'll show you what I'm wearing. Like I said, this is going to be a 3-part breakdown, so there's going to be timestamps down in the description below for the different gear sets. This is obviously the high-end gear set, and we'll start with this. In the weapon hand, currently using a Death's Fathom with a 5/5 cold facet in it. FCR are 3 distort skills, and then the cold off the bat. Cold skill damage is always super helpful. This is kind of one of the best in slot in my opinion. Next up, we got the Nightwing's Veil helmet. Better than this would be a 2-socketed. This is a 1-socketed, but you get 17%. This is a 17%, 12% plus 5 with the facet in it. 2 to all skills. And I slammed life after each kill on this. So overall, really good helmet. This is going to be very, very expensive, especially early ladder. Same as the Death's Fathom, so keep that in mind. In the chest slot here, we have a 20 FCR Frost Nova Ormus. 15, 15, 15 are the base stats because this is single player, so all the mods are perfect. 2-socketed with 2 5/5 cold facets in it. Really good chest. I've seen a couple other people run some different things. You can also run like Chains of Honor or an Enigma for Magic Find. That's up to you. This is what I'm running. I like the % extra damage. You get some style points running an Ormus, and that's it. Now, if you, like I said, if you want to run Chains of Honor, you're gonna be a little bit more tanky, a little bit less damage. But if that's your playstyle, that's your playstyle. In the amulet slot, currently just running a 2 to all skills Maras with poison resistance corruption on it. Not the best, could be better, could be a 3 all skill, could roll a couple different better things other than poison res on this thing to make it a little bit better as well. But yeah, this is what I'm running at the moment. In the shield slot, running a Medusa's Gaze, 2 to cold skills, 40 faster cast rate, and a huge chunk of resistances. This thing is super nice. Also lower res when struck. That's pretty decent when it actually happens. It's only a 10% chance, so it's not all the time, but you're getting hit a lot, so it helps out a little bit. It's got a good chunk of defense on it. Chance to block 44%. You can go max block if you like. I didn't at the moment. I'm at 8% chance to block. But that's up to you. It's another option for you. In the boot slot, I'm using War Traveler just for the Magic Find. This is my 19% corruption Magic Find on top of the 50 perfect. It's great if you're using this. Like I said, you can also use something like Silk Weaves just to help keep up the keep up your mana. If you're not doing something so tanky or intrusive. If your res need a little help, I'll give you some other examples in the mid-grade section of this build on what else you can run. For the belt, this is kind of going to be your only belt option here. You got to run ARAC, you need the faster cast rate, you get 1 all skills. I slam 7 all res on it, can't beat it. In the glove slot, I'm currently running Mage Fist for the 20 FCR and 39% magic mana regen, not magic regen, mana regen was my corruption on it, so really good gloves for a sorceress. Rig slot 1, I have a Stone of Jordan. This one got rolled lightning res 10% on it. Once again, this is going to be super expensive early ladder. You could run 2 of these if you want. I'm running a 10% faster cast rate BK ring for my second ring. The big thing is you guys are just going to want to make sure you're hitting at least at minimum the 105 FCR breakpoint. If you can get up to the 200 breakpoint, by all means, go for it. I'm currently sitting at 140 with my current gear here. So 200 is definitely possible. 105 is definitely the bare minimum if you want to be successful with this build. 10% here. You could roll 10% on the amulet. If you don't want to use an Ormus, you can go with even like a Viper Magi or something with additional faster cast rates. New FCR boots are being introduced this season. You can use that as well. Or if you wanted to swap this out for a super high-end cold circlet with FCR on it, you could also do that 200 breakpoint. That'd be the only kind of improvement I think that would majorly step this build up, is hitting that 200% FCR breakpoint. And over on the swap, as you guys saw, using a CTA here, this one happens to be a 262, so not a great roll. But it is what it is. And then using a lidless shield in the offhand here for the FCR and the 2 all skills, just to bump up that BO a little bit more, squeeze out that last little bit of life. Down in the inventory, we are just rocking all cold skillers. I got 3 45 cold skillers, 1 12 faster hit recovery, and a couple different faster run walks just to make it not completely broken. In the single player pack, all you get for options is the 45 lifers, so try not to make it too out of this world unrealistic. We got the Annie, we got the Torch, and then just some all res, some lifers, stuff like that to bump up the life. You guys see we're sitting at 1491. Like I said, this is going to be like ideal, perfect build, at least in my opinion. Obviously, there's different variations of the same build, and there's multiple ways to do this build too. So this is not a must-have this list of items. Do what you want, play around with it, have fun, see what works better. If you find something that's way broken and way better than what I'm running, by all means, leave a comment down in the description below, and we'll check it out. Oh, my mercenary, like I said, I'm not using anything crazy. If you see my other recent sorceress builds, this is going to be the exact same gear setup. I'm not focused on the mercenary too much, but this is what he's currently running. We got an F Thresher Insight, 12 meditation, so minimum roll for meditation. Over in the helmet slot, we're using an Dariel's Visage, with a 40-15 in this bad boy. Better yet, you should probably put a Ral in that just so his fire res isn't absolutely abysmal. He doesn't get absolutely shreked. In the glove slot, he's using an F Drax Grasp. Love these gloves. 20% increased attack speed, 10% life stolen per hit, open wounds, and life after kill, which is always good. Using a shaft stop with another 40-15 in here. What else we got? We got a string of ears for the physical damage reduction, 8% life stolen per hit. And then in the boot slot here, we just got a pair of goblin toes. That's the mercenaries running. On to the mid-grade section here. So this is going to be once you guys have been farming for a little bit, you have plenty of gear to go around, you've maybe got a couple high runes that you can trade and start getting some mid to late game gear. This is kind of what I would start out with once you guys get settled. And then we have our complete and utter starter gear here. This is going to be first week of ladder. You have literally nothing to your name, and you want to start grinding up to get that late game stuff. So we'll start here. First off, as soon as you guys can, as soon as you get to level 25, which is the bare minimum, you should try to get the runes and get a 4-socketed sword so you guys can make spirit. This is going to help you all the way through hell. You're going to literally use this up until you find a better weapon, either an Ashudas, an Asi, maybe a Vexrun to make a Hodo, something like that. So make this spirit as soon as possible. At level 17, I believe, you're going to want to make, I think that's the bare minimum to wear this thing. Well, this says 25. I think it's 17 though. You can make a stealth mage plate, or just a stealth in any kind of 2-socketed armor. I believe the mage plate is why it's level 25. At level 17 though, great starter armor for any caster. Faster run and walk, faster cast rate, faster hit recovery, regen mana, just a great low level armor. Once you guys hit hell, you can maybe make a smoke, which is going to be Nephilim, and that's going to give you 50 all res, unless I think he might have nerfed it in this mod, but that's gonna be another really great starter armor for you guys to use to get up into hell, start doing your Mephisto runs, start doing your pit runs, start doing your Lost City runs, stuff like that. In the offhand here, I'm using another spirit for right now. This one actually rolled really well, 35%. It is significantly nerfed in Project Diablo 2, so keep that in mind. You only get the one all skill on this bad boy. Same thing with the Spirit Sword, so keep that in mind. You're going to be wanting to try to find either a Medusa's Gaze, which is going to be kind of an end game item, or some kind of lidless shield. Once again, these are going to be very expensive early on due to the fact that there's going to be a lot of sorceresses playing, so something to keep in mind. Another really good early level shield before you get the Spirit here, you can go for either the Viscerant if you can find it, or as soon as you hit Act 5 in normal, you can get the runes to make Ancient's Pledge, which is going to be a 3-socketed kite shield rune word with all the runes that you get from doing the Act 5 Rescue the Barbarian quests, and that's going to give you a good chunk of resistances to get you through Nightmare in Hell as well. In the helmet slot, as soon as you can, Ort Soul, you're going to make a lore helmet. Overall, really good starting helmet, 30 lightning res, 1 all skill, 6 to energy, can roll up to 10, physical damage reduction, man after kill, great helmet. Any 2-socketed helmet you can put this bad boy in. For gloves, you're going to kind of just use whatever you can until you can find, some early game gloves. If you can find Mage Fists, great. Chanseys, Frosties give a little bit of fire and cold enemy res. Something like that. You can use train gloves. If you find train gloves, that's excellent. And just basically whatever you can find. In the boot section, you're going to be looking probably for yellow boots, preferably with run walk, some tri-res or dual res at minimum, so any kind of resistance boots, and then some kind of magic find is usually the golden trifecta boots. Obviously, this is a god tier, this is single player, so they just give them to you. But this would be like an ideal boot. Tri-res, 25% magic find is max roll, and then some faster run and walk. Anything slightly similar to this is going to be great starting out, but any boots you can really get. If you can find Natalia's boots early on, obviously War Travelers are going to be incredibly useful. Silkweave boots, Marowak boots. The reason I recommend these is because it gives you an early source of cannot be frozen, which is going to be pretty crucial to your character here. For the belt slot, basically whatever you can get. You're going to want a 4-socket belt as soon as you can. I've got the gold wrap here. It's usually a pretty easy belt to get early on. They're pretty cheap. If you can find a towel belt, it's going to be another good belt. Obviously the best in slot is going to be your A-rack belt. As far as rings go, you're going to want any 10 FCR rings that you can get your hands on. Same thing with the amulets. Any 10 FCR amulet off the bat to get to 105. These rings that I'm about to show you are going to be completely and utterly broken. You could roll with literally 10% FCR blue rings, but if you get some yellow rings that look anywhere close to this, you're going to be very rich, because these would go for a pretty penny on ladder. But any 10 FCR rings, a little bit of resistances, a little bit of energy, a little bit of mana, anything you can get would be great. Even, like I said, blue rings, perfect. And this is going to be kind of your ideal starting build, where you're going to want to start at. And you're going to want to start gearing towards this mid-tier, mid-ladder build. And we'll start from the very tippy top. First higher end that you can get, might not be a bad idea to just make a Hodo. 3 to all skills, 30% FCR, and 20 to 30 all res. Not a bad choice. For basically half a Hyrule of Vexern. If you get lucky, you could also use an Aussie. Aussie's going to be really good as well. 3 to source skills, 30 FCR, all res, once again, 5 mana after each kill. Downside, as always, the Aussie, if you get hit, you're going to teleport. So that's kind of up to you guys. Both very good starting weapons. This is going to be what you're going to want to upgrade from to once you progress past your Spirit Sword. In the helmet slot, obviously, Shaco. Great starting to mid-game helmet. It's going to be your first upgrade from the lore, or if you can find a Peasant Crown or a Tarn Helm or something like that. All great early game options. Your next option is going to be the Shaco here. Throw a P-Topaz in it, slam it, see if you can get 2. Whatever you want to do, but this is a great helmet, obviously, for the Magic Find, the 2 all skills, life and mana. Chest slot, I've got just a 1-socketed Skins of the Viper Magi V Magi, 30 FCR, 1 all skills, good chunk of all res. Great mid-tier chest plate here. Once again, you're going to be kind of using this all the way up until the end game, until you can either find like an insane Ormus robe, you can make Chains of Honor, you can make an Enigma, something like that. Once again, we have just the lidless shield here. You obviously don't want, you'd much rather have that. I just threw that in there just to show you guys. But lidless wall, 2 all skills, 20 FCR. This is actually going to be better than a spirit. It requires less strength. It's going to give you an extra skill. Downside is you don't get any resistances and you get faster cast rate. So just keep that in mind. You can use either one. It's up to you guys. So you can see at the bottom, 35, 35, 35, all res, but you only get 1 skill, and then you can have up to 35 faster cast rate. If you want the extra skill and then the increased max mana and the mana after each kill, lidless is the way to go. Once again, I kind of already showed you guys, but this is just another glove that you can very easily use. Triangle's gloves gives you 20 FCR, gives you a little bit of cold res. You can also use Mage Fist. You can also use Chanseys or Frosties. Belt slot, obviously, once again, A-Rec is going to be your best option. It's going to be the belt that you're going to want to work towards. That is your best in slot endgame belt. Once again, I just got 2 more random rings here, 10 FCR rings. Those are going to be best in slot 10 FCR rings up until you can start getting 1 skill rings, which are going to be very, very expensive. So I would save those for last. Once again, boots, Marrow Walks cannot be frozen, or Silkweaves, or War Travelers, or Natalia's, or just some Tri-Res Magic Find boots, whatever you got on hand. And then for the amulets here, this is where we're going to get a slight upgrade here. If you can find a Tal Rasha's amulet, obviously it doesn't have to be a +1, but Tal amulet, relatively cheap starting off at the beginning of the ladder. Once the ladder kind of gets kicked off, and obviously not right at the beginning, but you can always find CNC amulets for about a $100 or so that'd be a good option. Another really good kind of overlooked option here is going to be the Crescent Moon. 2 to cold skills, 10 FCR, and a little bit of mana, magic damage taken reduced by 10. Not a bad amulet. They're going to go for relatively cheap because they're kind of unknown, I think, in my opinion at least. Not a whole lot of people use these, and for a Frost Nova Sorceress or any cold sorceress, this is a great choice. And guys, that is basically it. Just real quick, I'll show you. I'm gonna switch out my gear here. I'm gonna go to our beginner gear here. I'm gonna swap it all out. I'm gonna keep some of the gear that I got here, but we're gonna swap all my gear out, and I'm gonna show you kind of some early game strategies on how to start your magic finding. So I'll be right back in just a minute. Alright, so as you guys can see, we are completely swapped out with all of our super early ladder game gear, rather. Obviously, these are going to be still a little bit broken. It is what it is. I don't have any blue 10 FCR rings. Gold wrap, stealth, lore helmet. I did throw the Crescent Moon amulet on there. It's a good amulet. I love it. Got nothing on swap. Got rid of all of our charms. I kept a Geeds and just a couple random lifers / all res charms. You're going to have, you're going to want to fill your inventory with as soon as possible with just random res charms. Just help your res a little bit. As you guys can see, I don't have great res, but I'm going to show you kind of what this can do, Frost Nova style. We're going to go to Act 2 here. We're going to want to go straight to the Stony Tomb, which I'm going to show you guys where that is at. It's going to be out in the rocky waste out here. Now, normally this is something you guys would always avoid, but in PD2, this is actually a buffed area. Alright, so here we are in the Stony Tomb level 1. We're going to kind of show you guys what this Frost Nova Sorceress can do with all of our basic starter gear. Once again, I'll show you that we got nothing but the basic starter gear on here. You're going to want to go a little bit slow. Watch out for the beetles. The lightning does hurt. But as you guys can see, this is still a very, very, very viable build, even super early ladder. I will say with doing this specific area, we're going to grab some of these potions here. The main boss that spawns every time is cold immune, so you got to have some kind of mercenary to deal with him, otherwise you'll just have to skip him. But as you guys can see, even with little to no gear, this is a level 85 area that is just getting absolutely destroyed. There you go. We'll go down to the Stony Tomb 2 here. This is all we're going to do. We're just going to run this until we can get some basic early game stuff here. So here's some beetles. Just watch out for the shotgun. Guaranteed super chest here. We got a trestled armor. What is that? There you go. You already got an iron pelt for your mercenary. Beautiful. Look at that. We'll go over to the right hand side here. Try not to get shotgunned by the beetles. Alright, nothing there. You can hit all these if you want. Great rune drop chance out of these guys. And then, like I said, we'll go to the middle here. We're going to throw some pots in here really quick. Help us with that poison. And then, like I said, this guy here is going to spawn cold immune every single time. So if your mercenary can't kill him, just skip him until he can. Our mercenary is obviously not too bad. He'll absolutely wreck that guy. As you guys can see, I remade the game under 2 minutes. I mean, honestly, you should be able to do this in about a minute and a half. So just keep that in mind. Another really good place that you guys can go is Lost City. Once again, this is with literally next to zero gear other than these rings, which are kind of broken, but I don't have any 10 FCR rings, so as you guys can see, absolutely insane. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. This is going to be the character that I'm going to be starting off Season 2 Transcendence Project Diablo 2 with.
Not here.
I think it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. This build has just been recently buffed, so there's going to be more than just a couple people playing it, I think. We'll have to wait and see, but we will see you guys tomorrow with the new ladder Season 2 Transcendence. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.